Hi, I'm Eric. I'm the instructor for Rocky Mountain Gun Owners and NAGR. I've been teaching concealed carry and tactical pistol classes for close to 10 years now, and I was asked to do a video on what the best concealed carry gun is. That's a tough one. That's a very opinionated subject, and everybody has different opinions on it. But I'm going to do my best to try to help you through, give you some things to think about, and then I will give you some advice and some of my own opinions. I've been training concealed carry, like I said, for years, and I have had literally thousands of people go through my classes. I've seen everything from inexpensive high points all the way up to multi-$1,000 custom guns go through my class, and positive and negatives about all of them. First thing I want to say before we dive into this is you need to avoid any situation where you might have to use your gun, especially in today's times. You could find yourself being charged for murder in what is definitely a cut and dry self-defense case. So just my advice, do everything you can possibly do to avoid having to use your firearm and to stay out of the legal system. Okay, let's dive in and try to answer this question. First of all, the best concealed carry gun has to be a gun you will carry. Having a gun that you don't like or isn't comfortable or that you leave at home is not the right concealed carry gun. It has to be something that you're willing to put on your body and wear day in and day out. I compare it to my seatbelt. If you told me what day I would need my seatbelt, then that's the only day I would wear it. But you can't tell me that. So I'm going to wear that seatbelt every day. Same with the gun. If you can tell me what day I'm going to need my gun, then that's the only day I'm going to wear it. And I'm probably going to wear something like this if you tell me that I'm definitely going to need it. For me, my handgun is the gun I use to fight my way back to my rifle. Remember this, most self-defense shootings are nothing like standing at the range and poking holes in paper. Most are violent, quick happening scenarios. Most happen in 6 feet or less, what I call bad breath distance. So you may be proficient at standing at the range, 15, 25 yards, whatever, poking holes in paper, and you may be excellent with your gun. But what's going to happen in a situation where you're being attacked, beaten to death, multiple attackers, and now you have to pull your gun out in that situation and defend your life? So just remember that as we go through these, that shooting at the range and defending your life are two completely different things. Most self-defense shootings are over in a matter of seconds, and that's from the time you realize that it's bad and you need to defend yourself till it's over. So keep all that in mind as we move forward. A burst of adrenaline can make even the simplest task hard to accomplish. When you lose your fine motor skills and you're in a life and death situation, they've proven that people can't even pick up their phone, unlock it, and dial 911. If that's hard to do, then everything you do with your handgun needs to be practiced and needs to be muscle memory. So some of the desirable characteristics in general of a concealed carry firearm, it's got to be comfortable relatively. I mean, it's never going to be as comfortable to have the gun on as it is to not wear the gun. So, but you need to be able to wear it. You need to be able to get through the day with it on. Concealable, again, that's the point, is you're trying to cover it up, conceal it, follow the law, and it needs to be accessible. Remember what I said, most self-defense situations are over in seconds. If you have to dig into the bag and unzip something and dig it out and rack around in, or jump down and get it off of your ankle holster, are you really going to be able to access the gun in that split second when you need it? Very important, it has to be reliable. And when I mean reliable, I mean extremely reliable. I have fired probably 3,000 rounds through this Glock this year, and I don't think I've had any malfunctions out of the gun at all. So when I say reliable, 999 out of 1,000 times the gun performs like it should. It also needs to be the gun that you have trained with and can shoot proficiently. It may be the easiest gun in the world to conceal, but if you don't take it out and train with it, learn how to shoot it, learn how to reload it, learn how to use the gun properly, then it's not going to do you much good when that adrenaline hits. Everything you do with the firearm needs to be muscle memory. You don't want to be thinking about it because you're not going to be able to think about it when things go bad. Remember, in this high stress, life and death situation, most of us fall to our lowest level of training. It's not a situation where we rise above our level of training. So those being said, let me give you some thoughts on specific guns. Let's talk about revolvers first. Revolvers, they're great guns. They're simple. They are extremely reliable. This gun can basically have one malfunction, and that is a failure to fire. Bang, bang, click, and all I have to do is train the student to pull the trigger again. It's going to roll over to the next chamber, and hopefully the round's going to go off. Whereas a semi-auto can have 4 malfunctions, and you need to be able to recognize and clear all 4 of those. An obvious downfall with the revolver is capacity. It's going to hold, 5-6 rounds at the most. Remember this, even in these close distance, 6 feet and in, well-trained people are missing shots. So I've got 6 rounds, I've got multiple attackers possibly, and now you got to figure I'm going to miss 30-40% of my shots. So that limits you on the firepower that you can send down range, as opposed to a semi-automatic where we're talking 7 to 15 rounds in general. Pocket pistols. I honestly have a reoccurring nightmare that this Ruger LCP is the gun I have on me when I have to defend my life. Is it a good gun? Yeah, it's very reliable. It's never malfunctioned. I can shoot it pretty well. But these little tiny pocket guns are hard to shoot. They have a lot of recoil. They're not fun to shoot. And quite frankly, they're hard to be accurate with. So again, very easy to conceal, but not my favorite gun at all to have to defend my life with. Same with this one. This is a little Beretta Tomcat. Again, easy to conceal, hard to shoot, hard to be accurate with. Let's talk about double action guns or guns with manual safeties. Again, very good guns, and if you're willing to go out and shoot and train and maybe compete and put thousands of rounds through your gun and learn to be proficient with that double action trigger versus the single action trigger, and able to put the training in and the time in, or able to put the training and time into clicking this manual safety off and committing that into muscle memory every time you shoot the gun, then I think these are great. But most people don't go out and train that much. So now I have something else to think about. I've got somebody beating me to within an inch of my life, and now I have to think about taking the safety off. And I shoot left-handed, and a lot of these don't even have a safety on that side until you modify the gun. So me personally, I am not a fan of a manual safety. Your safety is between your ears. It is not some switch or lever on your gun, in my opinion. So what I prefer, and what I prefer my students to have in general, are striker fired guns. Consistent operation. The trigger is always the same exact trigger pull. There's not a double action pull and a single action pull. I prefer no manual safety. I know some people out there do prefer the manual safety, but again, in that adrenaline filled situation, are you going to be able to get that thing clicked off there? I'm definitely not a fan of not carrying your gun without a round in the chamber. Now you have to draw, rack a round in, all the things that can go wrong with that, while you've got somebody on top of you risking your life. So I'm a big fan of, again, striker fired guns. I carry a Glock. Most of the time you're going to see me carrying this Glock 19 with an extra magazine, and it has a little Surefire light on it. I've become very comfortable shooting and carrying this Glock 48. I did find these aftermarket magazines made by Shield Arms. This holds 15 rounds, so it allows the Glock 48 with a flush fitting mag to hold the same amount as the Glock 19. I have function tested this. I've put probably 700 rounds through 3 of these magazines and have had 0 malfunctions, so I'm a big fan of these. Springfield Armory makes some good guns. Again, this is a Springfield Armory. I carried this 45 for years before I became a Glock guy. Very reliable gun. No manual safeties other than gripping the gun properly. Sig Sauer makes some excellent firearms. Their whole piece, 300 series, 320s, 365s, those are all great guns. I like HK. HK makes some really nice concealed carry guns. They're a little more expensive, and if you go to buy extra magazines for them, the mags are very expensive. And then another gun I wanted to specifically point out is a lot of the NAGR staff carry these M&P shields made by Smith & Wesson. These are great little guns. For a while, we were picking these up for under 250 bucks. They have gone up a little bit because of this recent rush on firearms we're seeing, but for the money, I think it's really hard to beat these M&P shields. Again, they don't hold a whole lot of ammo. I think they hold 7+1, but they're very reliable and they're very affordable. So in closing, to answer a question that is almost impossible to answer, the best concealed carry gun is the one you're carrying, the one that's reliable, the one you've trained with, the one that's comfortable, the one you're going to have with you, not the one you're going to leave at home. Thanks a lot for watching the video. If you want to see more content from us, click the like button and subscribe to our channel. Thanks a lot.